Morning, Carla. How are you? Just figuring the laptop and phone together here. Just try and get them in the same position. Just testing myself out on the two. That'll be fine, yeah. And just some standing work. Yeah, that should be fine. Now, morning, Sally. Morning, Pauline. Audrey, morning. Seamus, morning. See them all coming in. Closer. Sylvia, morning. Nolene, welcome along. So again, just kind of letting everyone get in place first, and I'll give a little intro now in a minute. It just takes a minute to log in for everyone. else. Be better. Yeah, that should be perfect. Who else? Carol, welcome along. Morning. Morning, YouTube, Kids Science TV, welcome along. And who else? Martina, Joseph, Swordsbury, welcome. Marie, welcome along. Great to have you. So my name is Shane. I know you've probably done one or two workouts with me. So this class today is specifically a COPD class, but absolutely everyone is welcome along. It just means we'll be following a format that we would typically use in our COPD classes. But like, this is a really enjoyable format, and I'm sure everyone will find it beneficial anyway. It just means some of the exercises might be in a kind of circuit format, and we'll have a couple of breathing exercises relevant to COPD, just because we have had a lot of COPD participants joining the workout. But as I say, absolutely everyone is welcome along, and we're delighted to have you, whether you have COPD or not. Hopefully you'll enjoy the workout. So that's just a little introduction. I just want to show, just in relation to COPD, some of the guys will be familiar with this scale. This is our Borg scale. Hopefully you get a good view there. If I got that the right way, I do. Where we want to work in terms of COPD, we want to be around 3 or 4 out of 10 on our Borg scale. So I'll show that up for YouTube as well. Just want to be about 3 or 4 out of 10 on our Borg scale. And that's just something the COPD guys will be familiar with. Don't get too bogged down in it. Just think, if you were to rank how hard the exercise is, you would want to be 3 to 4, like this kind of happy fellow here. So 3 or 4 out of 10 would be the kind of desired scale. Okay. So we're 2 minutes past just again. Who else? Sheila, Stephanie, good to have you. Good to see the Ballyfermot gang with us. I'm sure a lot of the Wicklow guys have been active as well, so very welcome to have you. Alarm. So let's see. Okay, so I think if we just get ourselves started, we'll go with a warm-up. And as I said, welcome along to everyone. Whether you have COPD or not, you're very welcome along. But this is just a class specifically with COPD in mind. And again, just please do remember just to like, subscribe, and share any of our content. That would really help us, and we're delighted with all the help we've had so far. So let's just go first of all. Very simple. Just going to take a nice big deep breath in. So air in through nose. Fill the lungs, slowly release. Out the mouth. Big deep breath in. Slowly out the mouth. And again, big deep breath in. Slowly out the mouth. And once more, big deep breath in. Slowly out the mouth. Just check a couple of comments there. Derek, COPD, Whitehall, brilliant. Janet, Bray, COPD, great to have you. Helen. And I know if the comments are a problem on Facebook, just swipe to the right and that should get rid of the comments and you can see more of my legs then. So you can do that if you want. So continuing with our main movements in our warm-up now. I just want to start lifting the shoulders up and slowly rolling back. And I'm just going to go with a seated warm-up, just kind of inclusive for everyone. We'll just warm up in our seated position first, but we will be doing standing work as we move in to our main session. So just lift the shoulders up and slowly roll back, just switching on the shoulders. Keep this one very simple, up and back. And then if I change direction, so again, lift the shoulders up, forward in circles. Just rolling the shoulders slowly forward in circles. Okay. Now, just a movement I like using a lot in the warm-up in COPD. I bring arms across chest and then just pull back, nice and wide with the arms, relax back in. Just think you're opening out the chest, any kind of around the lungs, just our chests, just opening up, stretching out. Pull back as far as you are comfortable. Just slowly stretching out, opening up that position. Perfect. And then I bring hands on legs, just stretch down towards feet, and then raise the arms up. So again, down towards feet, and raise the arms up. So again, a lot of time in COPD, just like to keep the warm-up movements fairly dynamic. Just think bringing the heart rate slowly up and preparing for our main movements ahead. Just lift the arms up and slowly stretch down. And I will keep an eye on the comments a couple of times. Again, this is for COPD and similar to the class structure we would follow. But absolutely everyone is welcome along and you should get some benefit and should enjoy maybe just a slightly different style today. So, but do let me know how you're finding the session as we go along. Perfect. Next movement. Sit slightly forward in your chair. Bring your right heel out in front. Okay. And just raise the leg from that position. So just a straightened leg, lifting up and down. And then I will swap over to the left leg out on the heel and just lifting a straightened leg right up off the floor. Perfect. Now 2 legs out on the heels. Lift right leg out, lift left leg out. Just switching on the hips. And I'm just thinking about some of the movements we're going to do later in the session. Just switching on, opening up the body here. Okay. Keep the legs out. Pull right leg in, pull left leg in. And I just pull back onto the toes of my feet. Alternate. So I go from heel to toes. Okay. And just a fairly fluid movement, but do everything at your own pace. Okay. And then next, I'm just going to lift my right foot up. So just like a little pump up and down. So we are going to do a little bit of kind of movements, aerobic movement. So I just want to get the hips switched on, lifting the right knee up. And then lifting your left knee up. And again, keeping foot up off the floor if you can. Okay. And then just one more movement. I can just take a little bit of support, hold the chair, feet up, and slowly bring your 2 feet around in circles, just loosening out the ankles. Again, in anticipation of some of the movements we're going to do. I just want to loosen out my ankles. Just don't want any tightness. Change direction, slowly around in circles. And I'll just check in with the comments when we finish here. Slowly around and back down. Okay. Linda, COPD in Tipperary, brilliant to have you, excellent. Anne Goldring, Swansea, brilliant, great to have Swansea, that's brilliant. Wales, Patrick Doherty, Kilkenny, brilliant, great to have you all with us. Okay, so as I said, this is kind of following a COPD format, and you've all been doing brilliant with some of our home workouts. Typically in a COPD class, after a warm-up, I like to get people active moving, and we like to promote getting people up out of the chairs as much as is possible and comfortable to the person. So I'm going to do a little kind of 2 little blocks of aerobic work, and then we're going to move into our strength type session or circuit afterwards. But for now, if you're comfortable, I'd like us to take a standing position. If not, I just want you to mimic the movements from a seated position. Okay? So, if comfortable, just assume your standing position and keep your chair by your side in case you need a little bit of support. And as I say, if you're not comfortable with standing, you will just mimic the actions from a seated position, and that's absolutely fine, whatever is right for you. Okay, so as I said, this is maybe one area that's quite difficult at the moment with COPD. We like to get up, out, walking, and that's something that's maybe hard to do with confinements at the moment. So this is something I want to bring into the session today. So what I'd like everyone to do is just start off with a nice light march. You can see my feet are barely coming up off the floor. This is just purposely quite nice and light. Okay, I'm going to reset my clock here. Get that right. So what we're going to do is little blocks, and we're going to do 40, 30, 20, and 10. So we'll do 40 seconds of a fast march, 40 slow, 30 fast, 30 slow, 20 fast, 20 slow in a descending order. If at any point you feel breathless, uncomfortable, slow the pace down and rest as required. Okay? But if we are all feeling comfortable, this clock to work for me, we are going to start our march a little bit faster in 3, 2, 1, and go. So 40 seconds, and now we can see I have a more purposeful stride. I'm lifting the knees up a little bit higher, and there's a little bit more intent in my march. You can even hear my voice. Chair is beside if I need support. And don't overdo it. If you feel uncomfortable, slow the pace back down. We always say with COPD, there is no pressure. Do everything at your own pace. We want to know that we're working hard, but equally not that we're uncomfortable. So continuing on, good steady pace for 4, 3, 2, 1, and slow the pace down. 40 seconds active recovery. So you can even hear my voice, heart rate up, lungs working, just filling in with oxygen, air in through nose, slowly back out. And just a nice slow march. Okay, so as I said, we have our 40 seconds recovery, and then we'll move in to 30 seconds of higher intensity. So this is a good way, because we might find it difficult to get out walking, doing our normal routine. This is a way to kind of get those steps up, get the little movement along with your strength-based workouts, which we will be doing shortly. 3, 2, 1, and go. 30 seconds, higher intensity now. And again, don't feel you have to match me, just a little bit faster than we previously were. A little bit more intent with your march for 30 seconds. Okay. Just keep it going. 10 more seconds. Doing brilliant. Not holding your breath, always breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slow that pace right down. Slow, slow, slow. Even take absolute rest and full pause if you need. So continue on. Light march. Just make sure with the comments we're all okay. Newcastle, super stuff. Great to have you with us. Okay. Just nice slow march. Last couple of seconds. And then we're going to go into 20 seconds at a higher pace. 3, 2, 1, and go. So again, marching with a little bit more intent. Slightly faster, a little bit bigger on my lift. Chair is there for support, and exactly the same if you were in a seated position. So it's 20 seconds, and then we'll have 20 seconds recovery. 3, 2, 1, and recovery. So just slow march for 20 seconds. So we can see the order we've gone down. 40 on, 40 slow. 30 on, 30 slow. 20 on, 20 slow. And we'll finish off with our last blocks of 10. In 3, 2, 1, and 10 seconds, higher pace again. Big lift of the knees, slightly higher intensity. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and active recovery. Slow that march right down. Air in through nose, slowly out mouth. Just recover. Okay, and rest. Okay, take a few seconds, drink of water if you need, and just a little breathing strategy. Just going to use my scale here again. Bring this right up. Hopefully Facebook and YouTube, you can see that. What I want us to do is just take some air in. So this is called rectangle breathing. Just trying to get you got the dimensions right there. So what you're going to do is take air in and then a big, long, drawn release. And then you'd go again, slowly, air in. Kind of short, sharp air in, and then big, slow, long release. So the idea is just pick any rectangle. That could be a TV screen, for example, or a window. And I'm just holding up a rectangle piece of paper here. But again, just think quick, short, air in, and then slow, long, drawn release. Again, short, quick, air in, and then slow, long, drawn release. Okay, so that's just a cover. If at any point you felt very uncomfortable, struggling for breath, just pick a rectangle anywhere in the room, a window, TV screen, bit of paper turned to its side, and just use that as a recovery strategy. Okay, so second little aerobic block we're going to do before we get into our main circuit. We're just going to bring our upper body into play now as well. So if you have 2 light weights or 2 bottles of water, we can now grab them. So again, 2 light weights or 2 bottles of water. Equally, if you want to do this part without the weights at this stage, that's absolutely fine, because we do still have our main strength block to come. So I'm not too worried. It's just personal. If you want to bring a little bit of weight in, you can absolutely do that now. Okay, so this will be another little aerobic block, bringing some upper body into play as well. So again, if you're not comfortable standing, you can do these movements seated, and just to mimic, some of them might be absolutely easy to follow. Just continue with a march and include the upper body work. That's the way I would do it. So just going to put my clock on. So just going to start very simple, and I'm just going to go a little heel dig in front, curl the arms, swap side, heel dig, curl the arms. So I'm not really going really high intensity here, just a little bit of control. Not looking for perfect technique or anything, just a little tap of the heel, a nice steady arm curl. And I might just show that from the side as well. Heel tap and arm curl. Now I'll progress into my second upper body movements. Step forward, raise in front. Step forward, raise in front. So think work on the one side, left leg, left arm, right leg, right arm. And the weight will not go above shoulder level. I know on the Facebook it might look like it's going a little bit higher. It's just the angle of the camera, but not to raise the weight above shoulder level. Again, just kind of think of that aerobic side of things, just the cardiovascular work in the lungs, but now we're bringing the upper body and a little bit of weight if comfortable. Next, what I want to do is I step to the right, right arm out, step to the left, left arm out. Let's try and get that in camera. Step to the right, right arm out, step to the left, left arm. So just step and raise. Again, the weight will not go above shoulder level. Just raising as high as you are comfortable. Okay. Now, if I lift the weights up, if I'm not using weights, that's fine. And what I want to do is a small step back, so just mindful of balance, and press the weight forward. Swap side. Step back, press the weight forward. I'm just going to show from the side. Small step back, press the weight. Small step back, press the weight. And we just continue on. And again, I'm not worried about weight at this stage. It's just an option to include if you want. Okay? And let's just reset one more time that little routine. Heel dig and arm curl. Heel dig and arm curl. I'm purposely not doing too many reps. It's a couple of movements together here. Just heel dig and arm curl. Okay. Second movement, forward step and raise, all on the one side. And again, if you're not using weights, that's fine. If you're in a seated position, just think of it following the upper body movements we're doing, exactly the same. And you can include a light march as well. Okay. Third movement, step and raise. And again, I'm not going with any kind of major vigorous intensity here, just nice, controlled, step and raise. Okay. And final movement, which was weights were up or just hands without the weights, step back and press. Step back and press. And again, just mindful, don't do anything you're not comfortable. If you're not balanced, hold on to the chair and just focus maybe on the step back. And we'll just go 3, 2, and 1. And rest down. Okay. So again, that concludes our kind of first aerobic block. Just take a little breather, take a seat for a few seconds. Let's hands onto our belly. Big deep breath in. And expand, fill your belly with air, and slowly release out through the mouth. Air in through nose. Expand that belly, slowly release. Big deep breath in, fill the belly with air. Slow release. Once more. Slow release. Okay, just going to check everything with the comments there. All good stuff, okay. So that was our first kind of aerobic block, as I said, because with COPD, we like to be up, active, moving. And that kind of work where maybe you're getting a little bit, where you notice you're working out, you can feel the lungs working, that's applicable to maybe walking down to the shops and not becoming breathless, or, you know, things like bringing grandchildren around the park and not becoming breathless. These are the things we want to do. So that little bit of kind of cardiovascular work, just getting the lungs working, up, active, moving, just marching and a couple of movements like that can be a really good way to do it. Our next kind of main block of work now will be our strength-based circuit. So we know, again, with COPD, there's a lot of evidence, a lot of research that if we do strength-based work, it's basically the springboard for this aerobic or our lungs improving, as it were. So we're going to do a little strength-based circuit, 2 blocks, 4 exercises, and we'll split them up. Just that everyone has a chance to kind of feel comfortable with this. And as I said, even if you don't have COPD, you're absolutely welcome. Just work within your own range. The times might be a little bit difficult, but work within your own range. There's no pressure, and delighted to have you, regardless whether you have COPD or not. You're very welcome along. So, 4 movements. Just want to make sure everything ready here. Okay, so your first exercise, I'm going to show this one from the side, will be a sit to stand with 1 weight. Just the 1 weight should be enough here. So I sit forward in my chair, feet flat to the floor, arms out, and this is all just demo. We're just doing a little run through the first 4 moves before we start. So regular squat, so I stand up tall from the chair, holding the weight out, and back down. And just so you can see that perfectly again, I'm holding the weight out as I stand up. So this will get the core a little bit more active. If you are not comfortable, and I say this in the class, bring the weight into your chest, stand up, and then press. Nice and smooth. So if you're not comfortable holding the weight out, stand and press. If you want to do this seated, hold the weight out, and we'll go for an alternate leg extension. And again, if that gets hard on the hold, press and extend. So the adaptations are there. Movement number 2. Elbow squeeze with a shoulder press. So what I'm going to do is hold the weights out to my side. Elbows roughly in line with shoulders, but don't be strict with that. I just mean that they're not down here. Just roughly in line with shoulders. Arms across chest, squeeze, elbows in together, open out and press. So again, squeeze, and press. If, for example, that shoulder press is too difficult, just focus on the squeeze, and that's absolutely fine. I just say elbows towards each other, okay? Third movement, you will only require the one weight again, and this will be a front raise for the shoulder with a hip extension. Don't worry if I'm kind of losing you here. I'll be guiding us through as we do them, but this is just a quick run through. I stand to the side of my chair, weight is in by my hip, and what I will do is raise my arm in front and pull the leg back. Hopefully we can see that okay on camera. Arm in front, leg back. You'll notice I don't arch or lean forward. My core is straight, tight. It's just a front raise, no higher than shoulder level, with a little hip extension. But you'll see the middle part of my body stays fixed. And there's no swing. There's no kind of really fast pace. This is all controlled. So again, raise and pull back. If you are seated, what you will do is bring your leg out in front, okay? And you will just go pull back and raise. So again, let's go pull back and raise. So the same action mimicking in a seated position, okay? So let's get started. 3 movements, but technically 4 because we're going to do that last one on each side, okay? So I'm going to put my timer on here. It'll just roughly guide me along, okay? Just check with comments, we're all okay. Different type of exercise, enjoyable. That's great to hear, Aileen. And I say it's not for, like, this is for COPD, but equally a lot of it is applicable, and a lot of the same issues come up in COPD, like strength, balance, all kind of common issues for classes in general. So hopefully everyone gets something out of this today. So first exercise, our squat with weight. So hold the weight out in front, stand up tall from the chair, back down. So we're just working for a block of time. I have a little timer behind me that's keeping me in sync. Don't rush this movement. Don't feel you need to do the same amount as me. The beauty of working with the time is you work at your own range. That could be someone getting 15 sit-to-stands in this time. For someone else, they might just get 5. You work at your range. If not comfortable, stand and press. So again, if not comfortable, stand and press. But if we are comfortable, continue with the weight out. And if you're doing the seated version, hold the weight out with a leg extension. So you just bring the leg out as you hold the weight out. Okay. The last couple of seconds, continuing on. You can hear the timer behind me. And rest. Okay, brilliant work, everyone, on that one. Okay, so now I grab my 2 weights or 2 water bottles. Get the chair out of the way, seated or standing, whatever way you're comfortable. Elbows up about shoulder level. And let's go in 3, 2, 1, start. Arms across chest, a little squeeze. Open out and press. And you can see there's no rush. I'm nice and controlled. And as I said, if that shoulder press is too difficult, just focus on bringing the arms across chest. My big kind of watch out point here is bring the elbows towards each other as well. I don't need to physically touch off, but just think elbows towards each other as well. And again, we're only the last couple of seconds here, just continue on. If you feel breathless, really uncomfortable, just rest, recovery, and some light breathing. Air in through nose, slowly back out. Okay, so last 2 reps. And once more. And rest down and recovery. Okay, so I dropped 1 weight. So I'm going to change the angle of the YouTube a little bit here. Okay, so now I'm going to have the chair to my side again. Okay, and a bit more. So this will be our front raise with hip extension. So hold on to the chair just to begin. Now to my side, front raise and leg pull back. Just so we have the best angle there. Now I reset at my hip every time. If you feel comfortable, you can bring the hand off the chair and we bring a little bit of balance into play. The main point here, not to speed up the movement. There should be no swing of the arm or the leg. I just think a controlled raise in front of the waist and a slow, steady pull back of the leg. Might just be a couple of inches back, even 1-2 inches. Absolutely fine. Don't force it to a point where you're arching or leaning over. So front raise, slow leg pull back. Okay. Last couple of reps. You can hear the timer behind me and rest. Same action from the opposite side. And again, if you're doing it seated, leg pull back with the same front raise action. Another couple of seconds rest. So again, start off with a bit of balance and support just to get comfortable. Weights by my hip, arm in front, leg pull back. And you can see the middle of my body stays tight. So I don't arch or tilt. And I just reset at the hip every time. If I feel comfortable and balanced, I can just hover the hand above my chair. If that's just too much, continue to hold the chair. Just means you can do a little bit of balance work as well here, if you are comfortable. Core is tight, weight raises in front, and you'll notice I hold it to my side. I should have said that at the start. Just that is the cleanest action for it's not going to hit off my hip as I come down. And leg goes back all of a couple of inches. Not going to pull excessively far back. Okay. Last couple of seconds. And rest. Okay. So again, I might just sit down to my chair. And we're just going to do some belly breathing just to relax, recover. We keep this simple. Hands on belly. Air in through nose. Slowly out through mouth. You might notice my eyes are closed. I find it just helps me connect a little bit better with my breathing if the eyes are closed, but that's optional. Air in through nose. Expand, fill the belly. Slow release. Again, air in through nose. Slow release. Again, air in. Slow release. And rest, okay? So we're going to do that little circuit block again. And breathing, good to have you with us. Enjoying the weights, that's good to hear. So that's a challenging enough little circuit because I know there's a lot going on. Pick, choose, adapt. I always say there's no pressure. You just do what you are comfortable. Don't be strict with how many reps you do. Do as many as you are comfortable. But let's go. All the same movements again. One more time. Okay, so I am just going to set my timer up again here. So again, let's start off slightly forward in the chair, weights out in front. 3, 2, 1, and begin. Stand up nice and tall. Bum back into seat. Now, as we found out based on the first one, if it was just a little bit too hard, or maybe we're just losing a bit of power now, that's when I go into my press. So I'll just feel a bit stronger with the weight in at my chest, and I will press as I stand. Okay, but maybe we are still feeling okay, just holding the weight, and it's only the one. I think 2 weights just isn't necessary here, just holding the 1 weight with my 2 hands. Equally, if you're seated, extend the leg whilst holding that weight or pressing. And again, there's no rush. Kind of remind yourself there's no hurry. You do what you are comfortable with. Take a longer pause than me. There's no hurry. And rest. Okay, perfect. Again, you can do this next part seated or standing, whatever you're comfortable with. 2 weights or 2 water bottles now. Few seconds recovery, air in, air out. In through nose, back out mouth. Okay, and let's set up. Elbows up, roughly shoulder level. Across chest for a little squeeze. Open and press. Again, across chest, squeeze, open and press. Squeeze, open, press. If particular with, I know the shoulder movements can be hard, anyone not comfortable, I would say just focus on bringing arms across chest and you get that nice chest movement. So there's no pressure, just pick from this movement what you want. But what you're doing is activating the chest and activating the shoulders. And we like those big, strong, powerful movements with COPD. And that kind of strength work will help strengthen muscles around the lungs and just give us that necessary kind of challenge we need for improvement. And rest. Okay, so I drop one weight, get rid of one, and I just have the one weight. Again, rest, recovery of a few seconds rest. I have the timer behind me here. Let's make sure I can hear it. Okay. So let's get started with our setup. Again, I have the chair just to start off for a little bit of support and balance. Front raise with hip extension. So start with the weight by your hip. And let's begin in 3, 2, 1 and start. Weight in front, leg back. So just think, and again, you're holding the weight by its side, not like this. Hold it by your side. And it just means it's not going to hit off your hip as you return the weight. And again, front raise with leg pull back. Not too strict. Don't overthink particularly the leg part, but just keep the movement slow and steady. Kind of resist the urge to swing. We don't want to swing here. My middle of my body should stay fixed and tight all the time. And if comfortable, I've brought my hand away from the chair and I just hover if I felt I needed. Last reps and rest. Okay, swap sides. So that'll finish our first little strength circuit. You'll be glad to know after this one. Any point we genuinely think back to that scale I showed. If you are 5, 6, 7, strip it back. If I asked you at home, particularly those of you with COPD, where are you in terms of difficulty? 3 to 4. In terms of your breath, your breathing, where are you? 3 or 4 out of 10 desired. If you're beyond that, strip it back a little bit. Okay. So last time, left arm, left leg, reset at your hip. So a front raise with a leg or hip extension. But again, I'm not too strict with the form technique, particularly with the leg. Kind of have a lot going on here. Just keep the movement slow and steady. And again, away from the back of the chair with the hands, if comfortable. And I bring a little bit of balance into play. Again, pick, choose, whatever you are comfortable. If seated, leg pull back, arm raise, exactly the same. So final couple of movements. Timer, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, so again, let's take a little block of recovery. So a lot of the guys with COPD will have their own little technique, and honestly, just stick with that, whatever way you are used to in class or at home. I know some people like to sit forward, kind of taking the pressure off the chest and lungs. If that works for you, that's fine. Equally, for some people, even just resting on the back of your chair, it can just take some of that kind of pressure, tightness off the chest and lungs. So whether that's kind of seated, kneeling, or even just holding the back of the chair. And equally, that will apply for other people. Even if you don't have COPD, it can just be useful little techniques if you were kind of feeling a bit breathless. Okay? So again, do just continue whatever recovery strategy you use. And I'm just going to take us into a little bit of breathing again. I don't want to bombard you with too many techniques, so I'm kind of sticking to the same 2 or 3, just so it doesn't get too confusing. So again, hands on belly, Close the eyes if it helps you to connect, and big deep breath in. Air in through nose. Fill the belly with air. Slowly release. And the hands kind of physically go with the movements and help. Air in. Fill the belly. Slow release. Big deep breath in. Slow release. Once more. Slow release. Okay. The reason I keep saying belly with the breathing, we like to get the air all the way down. We don't want to stay shallow and tight in your chest. So if I was just breathing from my chest, it would just be in, out very quick. What I'm trying to do is fill with air and then slowly release. This is one that always comes up as a question. People say, I can't really connect or feel the belly. Two things I would say. Maybe after this session, give yourself a little practice. Two things. Number one, close the eyes and put your hands on. It just helps you connect better. And number two, lie flat on a bed or the ground, and just that kind of act of lying flat with your eyes closed and hands on, it generally just helps you connect a little bit better. So there are little things you could try after the class. But don't be too bogged down in it. If you find, gosh, I can't connect with the belly like he's saying, don't worry too much about it. So just going to do, all good there. I'm just going to do one more strength block, I promise, okay? We've done fantastic, really pleased with the work we're doing, and you're all still with me. So I'm going to bring you through your last 4 exercises, and then we're going to have a really nice cool down and stretch. And again, please just do whatever you're comfortable with. There's no pressure at all here. Okay, so 4 movements. Number 1, a single leg squat. This will be a tough one. We're just going to do 30 seconds of this movement because it is quite a spicy one. This will be hard. So, set up. I hold on to the back of my chair. So I just want to show you the best view. Hold on back of the chair. I will lift my right foot off the ground so you can see it's up off the ground. Knees are soft, and I will just slowly squat down. So you'll see my knees are soft. The moving leg, the knee, stays in line with the toes. The knee doesn't buckle in or out. And the range is very small. I am not going very far. Again, think 1-2 inches. Adaptation. If this is too hard, back leg, leave it on the ground. The toes are down, and that will just take a little bit of pressure off. Okay? And if that's just too much, again, we'll just go for a seated leg hold. So you can choose whatever's right for you. That's movement 1. Movement number 2, arm curl, but with a little bit different technique to what you might normally do. You'll grab your 2 weights or water bottles, elbows fixed by my side, and physically bring the weights together. Just that you see that on camera, weights physically, think they're glued together. From that position, curl up, curl down, not letting the weights pull apart from each other. So I think they have to stay fixed, they're glued together, and that's just going to put a bit more tension through the arms. This is a movement that we can kind of easily go through the motions. This should help you get a little bit more from it. Okay? Number 3. We're just going to do a bike. I was going to do a weighted lift, but just going to keep it simple. Hold on to the side of the chair, feet up on your bike. Adaptation, you're just going to do the 1 leg, okay? And 4th and final movement will be a shoulder variation, which I will now demonstrate. Seated or standing, you lift the weights in front, out to your sides, back in front, and down. And at that controlled pace. So again, front, side, front, and down. And I could just do the 1 arm at a time if I was finding this a little bit too much. Okay? So, 4 movements. And let's get ourselves started here. So again, I'm just going to set my timer up here. Just want to hear this in the background. Okay, so first movement, single leg squat. I just want to make sure we have the best possible view here. Hold on to the back of your chair. Right foot is off the floor. Knees are soft and gently down. Okay, just slowly down. You see that nice bend of the knee. The knee stays in line with the toes. And equally from my hips, I allow that little bit of movement, not staying rigid. And this puts an awful lot of load on the one leg. So if you find this one's too hard, keep that back foot down. And that'll give you a bit more support. Okay, but if not, continue on. Swap sides. Let's quickly turn around. You guys are fine in your position with a swap leg. Squat down. And remember, if you are in the seated position, your legs are extended and you just hold. You can see my range here is very small, 1-2 inches max. Don't go too far here. Keep this controlled and slow. Putting a lot of load through one leg. And rest. Okay, tough one. 30 seconds is more than enough on that. Definitely think so. So, unless we like a minute. Now, we'll get our 2 dumbbells or bottles of water. Bring them physically together. There's a bit of glue and they're stuck together. Elbows in. And I curl up and down. So again, I might just show from the side. Elbows are fixed in position. And I curl the 2 weights or bottles of water, tins of beans, up and down. But keeping those 2 weights stuck together. Should just put a little bit more tension through the arms. That simple little manipulation can just make things a little bit more challenging. The arms are a strong muscle. They can take a good level of challenge. But again, remind yourself, feel very breathless. If I asked you where you are on that Borg scale, 3 or 4 out of 10 is where I would want you to answer. Not feeling really breathless, you should be able to hold a conversation still, as I can. And rest down. Excellent. So just rest the, what is our third movement? Bike. Oh, this is a grizzly one. I know Stephanie and Catherine are big fans of this out in Ballyfermot, so you'll enjoy the bike. So generally, make sure you feel supported. Lean back, whatever way feels comfortable. Hold on to the side of the chair. Feet up and on your bikes. So just cycle down the legs towards. And again, if this is uncomfortable, you're just going with the one leg at a time. Biggest thing, keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Don't anyone turning red on this one. I want you still breathing. Air in, air out, along with your cycle. Okay. Even for some people, if it gets unbearable, I just say kick the legs up and down like a swimming action if the bike is really unpleasant. Okay, and this you'll feel the hips and the core quite active with this one. Okay, last, better not say. Sometimes it's worse if I say what's left, so just keep going until it's close. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay. And again, just recover. We have that little rest in between. Just getting ourselves set up. And I will actually, maybe in the comments after, I'll just kind of reaffirm the times we worked at so you know after the session. I'll let you know what we did. But let's get ready. 2 weights or 2 bottles of water and our shoulder movements. Front, side, front, and down. And I don't need to go any faster than that. Front, side, front, and down. I might just show from the side as well. So front, open to the side, back and front, and down. Again, forward, side, back and front, and down. Just continue at that nice controlled pace. If this is too difficult, drop it down, one arm at a time, and you should find that'll just bring a little bit of power and control back into the movement. So just finishing out. I can't hear the clock just yet, but it's going to beep in a few seconds. let us know we're finishing off. And there we go. Last few seconds. And rest down. Okay. So again, rest, recovery. Take a seat. Again, maybe just rest against the back of the chair. Just take that pressure off the lungs, chest. Just get some air in. Equally for some of us, maybe you can just kind of sit forward in your chair. Honestly, whatever feels natural and best for you. So take that couple seconds, not even focused on a breathing technique just yet. Just rest, recover. Just check with comments. Tough workout, very enjoyable. That's great to hear from Limerick. And yeah, like this is a tough enough style. With COPD, you kind of have, it's like management of the condition, and the guys do need a good challenge. They know themselves, they have to work hard, but there's no pressure equally, and that goes whether you're COPD or not. You just do what you can, so there's no pressure at all. But like really well done. I say this isn't easy, so really pleased just to see you all sticking with it. So well done. Okay, so breathing again, and then we'll do our last little circuit. We'll do that same group one last time. Okay, hands on tummy, air in through nose. My eyes are closed, that just helps me connect. In, slow release. Air in through nose. Fill the belly, slow release. Air in through nose. Fill, slow release. Once more. And slow release. Okay, so let's go after one more time with that same block. Okay, so we'll have 4, beginning with our single leg squat. So again, this is just 30 seconds per movement. This will be our single leg squat again. So I'm going to put the timer on and we'll go last time, I promise. Okay. So I'm going to start in 3, 2, 1 and go. I hold back of the chair, knees are soft, and slowly squat down. So I'm putting the weight onto that one leg, no more than an inch or 2 worth of movement. And if I'm not comfortable, rest the back foot down. If you're seated, your 2 legs are out in front and you hold that position. So a leg hold, keep the legs out, hold position. And swap sides. Your position is fine, I just turn for the camera, that's all. Hold on to the back of the chair, knees soft, hips ready for movements, and slowly squat down on that one leg. So again, my back leg, foot is off the ground. If not, keep it down for a little bit of support. Brilliant strength move, particularly for those little imbalances. If one leg is weaker than the other, this might kind of identify that, and at least then you kind of have an understanding if one side is weaker. And down, okay? So a very tough movement, that really well done. Whatever level that you picked, really well done. Now, what are we next? Arm curl. 2 weights or your water bottles. Remember, elbows fixed by your side. Glue the 2 weights together. So again, physically connect the 2 weights and curl. Okay? So I'll just bring the weights up, slowly down. And I'm keeping the 2 weights or 2 bottles of water, tins of beans, physically stuck together. That just makes this movement a little bit more challenging. You'll see there's no arch, there's no sway. All the tension, all the work is through the arms. And I say this movement, I just think we go through the motion sometimes. We have a lot more in us than we think with this movement. So just a little manipulation like this can just help you get a better connection and maybe just work that a little bit harder. So we're doing great. So again, I'm just waiting for the clock behind me. Last couple of seconds. Keep going. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay. We'll sit down to our chairs next. So second last movement, you'll be glad to know. This is definitely my hardest workout on these of all the ones I've done so far, no doubt about it. Hold on to the chair, lean back, a little bit of support, and legs forward in circles. And again, this was a request from Ballyfermot and Bray that I put this bike exercise in, so you're both very welcome. Happy to oblige. Again, feeling tough, one leg, absolutely fine. And breathing, don't hold your breaths. Air in slow and back out. Just remember breathing all the time. Okay, and again, it's better on this one that I don't tell you the time when there's a bit left. It's best, again, kick the legs up, down if the bike has just become unbearable. Okay, just finishing out. Last couple of seconds. Where are we at? 10 seconds. You can hear the groans. Okay, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, and again, catch your breath after that one. Take a few seconds. You have that little rest time in between. Okay. Final movement today before our cool down and breathing. So final one today. I'd always say to the guys in class, it doesn't matter if it's the first or last exercise. If you're very breathless, uncomfortable with COPD, rest, recover, regardless of where we're at in the workout. Don't force it through. So I have my 2 weights, lift in front, open to the side, back in front, and down. Again, front, side, front, down. So we're just coming at the shoulder from different angles. So when I raise the weight forward directly in front, like I do now, you should feel the front of the shoulders. I bring the weights back, I should get more of a connection with the back of the shoulders. Now there's a couple of different elements. And again, if I was finding this really tough, I would just drop and focus on one side at a time. And again, weight never above shoulder level. Even if you're not quite in line with shoulder, that's absolutely fine. Okay, and last one, and down, rest. Okay, good work. So again, let's just take a seat. Again, maybe first resting on the chair, rest, recovery. Okay, or equally in that seated position, just kind of take that pressure off the lungs, chest, rest, recovery. So that's important. And drink of water. Okay, so again, what we're going to do now is just cool down, a couple of stretches and a little bit of breathing work. Just to explain, as we rest and recover, the format we did for that aerobic work, where we did the marching at the start, was 30 seconds or 40 seconds on, 40 off, 30 on, 30 off, 20 on, 20 off, 10 on, 10 off. So what I mean is fast, slow. For the strength work, what we did was 60 seconds per movement with 20 to 25 seconds rest, roughly. Like, it's when you're on camera and everything, that's why I say roughly. I'm sure it wasn't precisely those times, but that's what we aimed for. So that just gives you a clue, and I might even write it in the comments afterwards, just so that you guys at home kind of know what kind of level we worked at. So if that was really hard, you know, well, maybe I'll do that workout but 10 seconds less. Or if it was easy, maybe I'll add 10 seconds on to what I did with Shane today. So I will maybe just put that in the comments after this. Okay, so a couple of stretches, relax down. First one, sit forward in your chair. I'll show this from the side. Bring your leg back. So I'm on the toes of my right leg or right foot. Straighten out, pull to the side. Back in front, pull back onto the toes. Straighten out, lift out, back in front, and pull back. Same from the opposite side. So you're going through 3 different movements there. Leg from different angles, getting a nice little stretch. So pull your left foot back onto the toes. Straighten the leg out and lift to the side so I get that hip. Back in front, pull back onto my toes, straighten out, just holding a couple of seconds in each position, and lift out. Again, leg back in front, and pull back onto the toes, and rest. Okay. Second one, just like this one again in COPD, but should be nice for anyone. Just relax the arms slowly down between the legs. Come forward as far as comfortable. Don't force yourself to the floor or anything, just as far as comfortable. And then just straighten back up. And again, just slowly relax down. Just drop arms between legs. And just gently straighten back up. And again, just slowly relax the arms down. And straighten back up. Perfect. Now, just going to get a nice little stretch of the chest. What I'm going to do is have the palms of your hands faced up to the ceiling. And just stretch them out to the side and slowly pull back. Hopefully you can see that okay. You can see I've just physically pulled back a little bit. And relax. So again, hands faced up to the ceiling. Slowly pull back and just puff the chest out. And relax. And I'll just go once more. Slowly pull back. And it is important we stretch, relaxed. Particularly, like that was a tough session, so we want to just slowly bring that heart rate back to resting. We're just unwinding, telling the body to relax. So it really is important, equally with your cool down or warm up. So these are important phases. And relax. Okay. Next, just a little shoulder kind of 3-point stretch. So first part, shoulders up, hold. Keeping that position raised, pull back. Hold, and then drop down, and relax, reset. So I hold each position, lift up, keep the shoulders raised, pull back, keep the shoulders pulled back, and drop down, and then reset. Once more, shoulders up, keep the shoulders raised, pull back, keep the shoulders pulled back, and lower. And back down. Okay, so finally now a little bit of breathing. We're just going to go with pursed lip breathing. As I said, I didn't want to bombard you with too many types. And this is just something that's nice in COPD, but equally for anyone, a little bit of breathing, relaxation can be very helpful and nice. So absolutely welcome to join us with this. So what I'm going to do is air into your nose, just fill the belly. Now imagine the straw in your mouth, well, just come a little bit closer, and this is called pursed lip. So as if you were slowly out through a straw. Think air in for 2 seconds and air out for 5 seconds. I know I just gave 2 fingers to the camera there, but no offense meant. Big deep breath in, 1, 2. 5-second release out through a straw. So pursed lips. Air in. Slow release, up to 5. Air in. And release. And last time. Okay. So we will leave it there for today, everyone. Really well done. As I said, that was specifically tailored for COPD, just because we have had a lot of COPD participants joining in. Even if you don't have COPD, that kind of circuit-based format's a very good technique. But that was quite hard, so don't worry if you found that quite tough. It's actually really impressive that we all kind of stuck with it and did what we could. So really, I want to just thank you for joining us on that. Let us know how that was. As I say, it is a little bit different style technique and probably quite tough. But in a sense, with COPD, we have to work quite hard, but never with any pressure. So do let me know how that was. And as I said, I might just write a little post in the comments there of some of the times we worked, just so that you guys have a kind of reference point in terms of the box of times we did. So thanks very much, everyone, and I'll see you again. And thanks to everyone on YouTube as well there. Thanks for joining us.